AfterBuzz TV, so I think you guys will know a bit of AfterBuzz from LA as well.
Yeah.
So let's begin.
Want a slate?
They've got a baby, like,
Those are
ghost slate.
hipster slates.
Yeah, very.
It's pocket.
Beautiful.
Yourself, man?
Yeah, we're going around the table, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, usually I'm the camera producing these segments in LA here, but now I'm just sitting here just watching you through.
Oh.
Fair enough.
So next.
Yeah, I'm Dave from Heavy Magazine and Macquarie Radio.
Right, Dave.
Welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome to Melbourne.
Hi, I'm Karl from the Outerhaven.net. This is Rachel.
Sup, Rage?
I'm Cyclone Boehner, that's my real name, and I'm from the music.
Coolest name we're gonna encounter all weekend for sure.
My name's Lauren, I'm Alice Clark, and I'm from New Game Plus.
Awesome.
Great.
Okay, we'll kick us all off. So, as we know, season 3 just aired Tuesday. So for us Australians, some of us had to watch it online to get it at the same time as the US. But going into now season 4, it seems the undead are out in the open, and the people of Seattle seem to know this as well as the rest of the country, for that matter. So, with that being out there, what are you guys all most excited to explore with that and looking forward to in season 4? So, this is open to all of you.
It'd be rude to not let the lady go first. So, Allie, would you like to tee that up?
Gosh, I guess we're excited because we know the ending of season 3, so we're curious as to what happens with our characters come season 4. I think for our characters, it's all kind of different. I mean, obviously we all are together in this world, and we all know that zombies exist, so nobody's left on the outside anymore. But for Peyton, at least, you know, she has gotten a better job. She's now, you know, the assistant to the chief of
The mayor?
mayor. Yeah. I was gonna say chief
Did
of
he win?
staff.
Has he officially won?
Yeah,
Okay.
he did officially.
Watch the episodes.
Yeah, it's okay. Get rusty
Watch my
on it.
scenes, guy.
Yeah. So that's like a great, you know, opportunity for her just on a job front. The fact that now she won't be in the DA's office is interesting. But yeah, zombies are now out there and are known, and it's not this like hidden thing that is a secret anymore. So I think this 4th season we'll really see how humans start to really react to now interacting with zombies and how they treat them, and if they actually want to exterminate them altogether.
Interesting. Do you guys have anything to add to that, or?
Well, I mean, our show started quite intimately with only a few characters in small locations. I mean, that's where it started, and over the last 3 years, you've seen it become a city. And Seattle itself is its own character, and it's interesting now to see season 4, how Rob and Diane and everyone figure out logistically like what the mythology is going to be going forward. Like, how does Seattle react to things? Are we still going to be able to do? I mean, we haven't had a lot of conversations with Rob so far because they've only just opened the writers' room. But speculating things like, will we still be doing procedural the same way? I mean, if Seattle's become almost ground zero for the apocalypse, or the starting of an apocalypse, how much institution is there still there? Like, is there still a police department? Are we still going to be doing murders of the week when half the population is zombies? So seeing how the structure of the show changes.
Classic Cyclone.
I know. But yeah, seeing how we how different season 4 will be from the other 3 was what I'm curious about.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's a big reset. And not just plot-wise, but like Raoul was saying, like, will it still be the same procedural? I'm curious to see what a walled-off Seattle looks like and what it's like, you know.
Build the wall.
Yeah.
Speaking of now a changing storyline, one thing I have to ask is, I actually had the opportunity to interview Rob Thomas a year and a half ago, but I'm always curious, do you guys ever like go to him and like, I want this specific storyline, or do you try pitching your ideas for like where you want your character to go?
Well, I spoke to him recently before we started 4, and I think with Rob's got a very detailed plan, and we all kind of trust him. We want things for our characters, but we also know that he's the captain of the ship, and he's steered us this far, and we never really try and interject anything, because as good as your intentions might be, they could also come from a place of vanity. I know that I pitched quite frequently once, and you guys have seen the vaccine thing happen, right? Okay, so I pitched that it doesn't work, and that it's like a throwback to David Banner from the TV series The Hulk, and that he becomes his own Jekyll and Hyde character. So I pitched that, knowing that doesn't serve the story. That's just because I want to
Play that part.
How many Marvel characters do you plan on plugging in this
Yeah, no
20-minute
kidding.
interview?
Ready? 3.
I think I just keep asking him, could we just give Major a little bit of adversity?
And clothing.
Could we, I say, yeah, I'm like, first of all,
put a
it's
shirt
always
on.
turtlenecks. Let's see what I look like when I pop that shirt off, because we haven't done that yet. And also, it's been too easy for Major. I feel like everything's gone his way. I want to see what it's like when he doesn't get his way for once. What happens, how does he do, when...
How does he deal with that?
Yeah, when he's up against it.
Interesting.
I was wondering, how do you guys get told about a major storyline change? Do you get a magic phone call from Rob, or is it just you pick up the
Not
script?
really.
You read the
It's
script.
you just read the script,
I'll
honestly.
go even
Yeah.
one further than that. There's 2 scripts. There's a production draft that goes out, and that's read by
Hair and
people who
makeup.
need way more advance notice.
We try to sneak that and get a look at
Yeah,
that.
we don't even get that copy. So we get the one when everyone gets it. So we read it week to week. We've recently been included in that because we do need that, especially Rose. I think she needs that week's heads up to know
Of
what
hey,
character
this is what I'm
she's
going to be
playing.
doing, so she can even start prepping a little earlier.
But usually they play their cards close to their chest. And that works usually. I mean, sometimes I think it could help with that. It's a fine balance, because if you know something too soon and you're still filming an episode, you start tipping your hat to things without even knowing, and that can possibly get in the way.
Yeah.
So it's kind of works that week we get.
As you were saying before, all about the Bruce Banner influence into what you're looking for a part in the show. Have you guys actually read the original iZombie comic and taken anything from that and brought it into the show yourselves, or is it just the producers sort of going, we just want to use a name?
We all read.
We've read them, yeah.
We read them when we were attached to the project, just because, particularly for us, when we were cast, we didn't get the scripts, right? It was the name.
There weren't
There weren't
scripts.
scripts.
Yeah.
I know my audition slides were just 2 pages, 3 pages, and they were out of context, so I had no idea how different this would be from the source material. So it made sense that we would all read the comic book.
But the comic book is so different from the show. So
Yeah.
I mean, in a way, obviously for Rose, her character is the most at least like herself. But I think for all of us, it's so different. There's no werewolves and other
With terrorists.
yeah, exactly.
I think what they largely lifted from the comic was the overall tone of the comic.
Exactly.
The character, it is still Liv, right? No, it's Gwen.
Gwen.
Gwen is still very self-aware and
The voiceover
sarcastic
exists as well. The narration's similar.
Exactly.
And it's kind of tongue in cheek in the way the show is. Yeah.
So tonally, they got a lot from it. But I think aside from that, I did the same thing when the project first came up. I went and grabbed the first 3 volumes of the trade paperback and was skimming. I'm like, I don't see Major.
You're like, what was that? Yeah.
Yeah, and then realized, oh yeah, there's none of us are in this.
Yeah.
Taking some liberties.
I'm like a ghost, technically the best friend is like a ghost.
Yeah.
So it's completely different. Yeah.
I guess I'm a gay weird terrier.
Oh yeah, that's what they call it, weird terrier.
Yeah, that's that character.
Which is kind of like a werewolf,
It is, but it's a dog.
but it's a dog.
You would have made such a good gay weird terrier.
I would.
It's a shame that we
They
didn't
missed the
see
trick.
that. Yep.
They didn't miss the trick.
Maybe something for season 4.
Exactly.
Yeah, my turn. I was surprised at David Anders' panels last year, how female the audiences were. I thought it might have attracted a more male subculture, and I wondered what you make of the subculture that exists around the show, and if it varies from different territories.
I think it varies on where we are within the U.S. or overseas, but obviously our lead is a female, so I think we're gonna have females that relate to that character. But I've seen older men that are in their 40s be fans of the show, little teenage boys. What?
I said, I bet you have.
I bet you have.
I bet the 40-year-old males.
Yeah, you're we don't have a lot of 40. Actually, you probably have 40-year-old women that are into it. But it kind of varies. Also, a lot of families watch the show together. I think because it's a safe enough show that they can sit down and watch it with their kids. But it's cool enough for the parents to not want to
Cover their eyes.
kill themselves if they're watching a kid show.
I always thought going into this was going to be 14-year-old girls. I don't know why. I just thought with the network and Buckley. When I first saw the first episode, and I was like, oh, okay, I know what this gig's going to be. And I've been continually surprised by just the kind of diverse group of people that watch our show and approach us. Like for me personally, and I don't know if this is to do with me as a person or my character, but the gaming community have really taken to the show as well. Possibly that's to do with both of our interactions as the characters and personally we play a lot of games. But so I've been meeting a lot of like 19-year-old, 20-year-old guys who
I bet you know.
at conventions and yeah, as Ali mentioned as well, we meet a lot of families, a lot of people who
Like it's like a family of 5 and they all are different ages, like a 15-year-old girl and a 9-year-old son, and you know.
And I think Rob and Diane are very good at putting things in there that if you're of a certain age, you get that reference without excluding other people watching it. So there's something in there for everyone, I think, and that's kind of reflected in the people that approach us.
Okay, this question is just for you, Rob.
Oh, well.
Sorry.
It's
You were amazing on Supergirl.
Oh, thank you.
What was it like working on the show and with Kate McGrath? And what are your thoughts now? on
he didn't
Supergirl?
enjoy it. He didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
He
Best
was like, I
love
really
interest
miss...
I've ever had.
Comparing to iZombie specifically.
Yeah, exactly.
So what was the question?
So, what was it like working on the show with Kate McGrath, and what are your thoughts now on Supergirl?
Oh, Supergirl! Wow, that's an interesting one. It was awesome. I technically was the second or third role I've ever done now, because iZombie was my first. So this was so iZombie's all I really know in the acting world. So it was interesting to do this job in a whole new environment. That was quite weird for me to have interacting with different people, not really knowing how this goes, and seeing scripts and not really knowing how much I can push this and push that. So it was a good learning experience. They are crazy busy. There's a completely different atmosphere over there. They do 22 episodes. It's action heavy. The CGI is a lot of moving parts. But it's great. Everyone's in good spirits, and Kate McGrath was awesome. We really kind of got lucky. We instantly had a usable chemistry, and we had very little time to sell this relationship that we were supposed to have had. That was a big deal. We had like 2 scenes to do it in for people to go, oh, they are together. They were together. But it just is one of those things. It just worked. And super cool. That was interesting. I try not to pay too much attention to the ships. I think they can be fun. We in iZombie celebrate them absolutely. Pavi, Rager. They're fun, and it's nice to know that people. It's like football teams almost. You know, it's people supporting that. With that one, I think that there is an element that can be quite toxic. I think that there's a lot of nastiness involved in that, and my casting announcement was kind of met with a bit of a backlash, which was interesting. And then it became racial as well, because people were like, well, but he's a man of colour, so we can't be that rude to him. And so we were like, well, we didn't give a shit. So yeah, it was an interesting thing. It was an interesting experience. It showed me that. Our show in particular, like I know the rules and the parameters, and I am happy that we have the fan base we have, because it's never turned into that. So it was a glimpse at what's working on another show can be like with fury, like that fury, that kind of that fan hooliganism almost. I guess it was interesting.
If I'm hearing right, what I'm picking up is that it didn't even compare to iZombie, is what you're saying. Like it's not even a close second. It's like, who cares? It's so far back there.
I saw more tweets in my one episode of Supergirl than I did for like 3 years worth of iZombie.
Really?
Yeah, Supergirl's massive.
That's it, we're going to go start spamming you. That's it.
Yeah.
Start spamming you.
You heard it here. Yep.
But by the way, just to finish that off, they are a great set of fans. They're very loyal. They kept that show, big switch up from CBS to CW, and it's been accepted. And they were lovely to me after the episode.
Yeah.
Once it happened, I was like, all right, we were all right with that. They still could be in a relationship. But yeah, it was cool.
Tumblr is a weird and terrible place.
It is. I'm addicted to it. The first time I went on Tumblr, I saw myself photoshopped into gay porn. And I sent it to my mum, and she found it hysterical. And then Tumblr became my favourite guilty pleasure, and I just to find weird stuff. But, yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful. So this one's actually just for you, Robert. So I have to touch on One Tree Hill for a little bit here, even though it's iZombie.
I was in that.
I know.
Okay.
Can you believe it? What?
That's crazy.
I know you guys actually had the convention, like, what is it, like nearly a month ago. And crazily, there's obviously still fans of the show, new generation that are getting into it and watching it. So how is it returning back to that fan base of the show and somewhat embracing Clay Evans again?
It's incredible. That fan base is unlike anything I've ever experienced. I mean, there are more conventions for One Tree Hill currently than there ever have been. It somehow is growing, which is
like more than even when the show was actually.
That's what I mean. Like every year, there's
yeah.
more and more, and it's. I was aware the fan base was strong before, but it's incredible to see. And listen, it's a great subculture because it's like those conventions. It's love. It's like people going to just be happy and see. And so it's a really. I love it. It's always a fun thing to do, and the thing that's tricky for me though is that these are diehard fans who know their stuff. So sometimes when I do the Q&A, like I try to not encourage specific questions because I'll be like, and that episode where Clay drove the red car, and I'm like, gang, I don't even. Did Clay really drive? Because honestly, I couldn't even tell you. You know, like I'm better at the broad stroke questions. Sometimes I'll just defer to them. Like I don't know, so you know better, but it's always fun.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering with you guys with iZombie, Walking Dead was out there when iZombie started. Was there any hesitation for you guys when you got offered a role in a zombie show, or was it just like, well, no, I love this script?
I'd have been in anything at that point, because I'm not really the one to ask. I was broke, unemployed. I'd have been in anything at that point. So I didn't have the luxury of going, zombies, are they done? Is that a good career move?
I mean, there was only one show on, so I don't feel like it was like a thing where we were all like too competitive.
You know what did
Yeah.
suck? I'll be honest. You know what did suck?
Tell us.
I'll tell you.
Turn the cameras off. Let's.
It felt like we came along as everyone was tired of zombies. It did. It felt like, you had 28 Days Later, you had the Rejuvenation, the remakes like Zack Snyder's remake of Dead, Night of the Living Dead and stuff like that, or Day of the Dead. Which one? Dawn of the Dead, excuse me, Dawn of the Dead. And then Walking Dead was in its 4th season, maybe 5th season by the time we showed up.
So people maybe kind of prejudged the show.
Well, I thought we were entering a world that was already quite jaded. And then we had the unfortunate, title. So it's called iZombie as well. It's not like we're trying to hide what we are. And that kind of actually, and I thought at first when we were trying to sell it off as Comic Cons, I was like, it was almost not ashamed, but there was a slight embarrassment, like, we're coming into a really packed arena here with a real on the nose kind of title.
Mm-hmm. I remember our first Comic Con, all of us.
They didn't take us seriously.
Like looking at you being like, if we're back here next year, this will be such an easier show to sell.
Geez.
Right.
Because having to tell people, oh, it's a zomcom, rom-drom, zombie, it's like, what?
Yeah.
It's just so much easier if someone's seen it.
You have to see it before you really.
But it worked in our favour. It kind of did, because I realised that Walking Dead was so specific, and people still wanted to be part of this zombie culture and enjoy it. Families it's so prevalent in our media right now, and there is no real alternative. If you want to watch a zombie thing, usually you need to put up with a lot of gore. It's a lot of dread and whatever.
Running.
And iZombie comes along, and it's a fun take on it, and actually worked in our favour. So you found a lot of the tweets I would read are things like, I don't usually watch this zombie stuff, but I watch iZombie.
Yeah.
So that,
And I don't think that Walking Dead was a competition for it. It was already such a huge thing.
And we never were trying to compete.
We were never trying to compete. It was just like its own thing and completely different, which I think made us feel at least like we were doing something different in the zombie genre.
Yeah, I had a phone call with Rob Thomas before I signed on, because that's what I was curious about, was like, are we sort of just, are we remaking the wheel, or are we doing something else? And he was quick to say, no, this show is very different. We're not trying to keep up with them. Because you couldn't have a show on the CW trying to match The Walking Dead.
Right, no.
You can't have that gore, you can't have some of those themes, and so...
We just don't even have the budget to do that much makeup on more than 2 or 3
Yeah,
people.
true.
Yeah.
They're like, here's your extras, there's 3.
Yeah, I think the fact that we sort of tried to run our own lane really helped the show.
Yeah.
One directly for you, Roll. I've recently become a follower of your Twitch streams, by the way, which have been very entertaining. No, you won the Thresh skateboarding one the other day. It was highly amusing. You did cop a lot of slack for it.
Thank you.
Just wondering, with your gaming side, have you ever had that experience being on set and it's like, okay, we need you on set. 5 more minutes.
Well, actually, recently, for the first, I was almost so scared by being in my first show and playing this character. It's so different from me. I am nowhere close to Ravi. I think people always assume I am. Maybe my Twitter looks quite colourful and bright, like I'm high end. I'm not. And so it took a lot of work just to turn up on the day and deliver the energy levels and the humour and the light that character needed. So in seasons 1 and 2, there wasn't much room for play. I wouldn't ever try to distract myself from the work while I was there. By the 3rd year, I wasn't in that much. And when I was, it was easier to now play. I could deliver that. So there was more free time. So the Xbox found its way and the PlayStation into the trailer. And we played a bit. We had a couple of games. You know, we played on the Xbox and stuff.
We made it to set. Remember when you brought your little the suitcase?
Oh God, yeah,
yeah. We're playing Doom on set.
Yeah, we were playing Doom in the police station during takes. And so now it's, like I said, it's just one of those things, man. Like with anyone's job, you know, your first few years, you are there feeling like you don't know what you're doing. You don't know why you got the job. You're not that good. It's too hard. And then by the 3rd, 4th year, you start to go, okay, I'm fine. I can chill. I can watch TV in my trailer. It's not going to break my character. So it's now starting a little bit.
The perception of the CW here is that it's, you know, really strong genre TV, and I wondered if there was another show on the network that you, each of you might secretly like to guest star in.
Man, I would have said Supergirl, but Raul said the bar, so
We kind of think that like a episode like pair up would be good on like a Supernatural or something. Like that would make the most sense, at least out of the shows that are on the network.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It would make the most sense. I mean, it'd be cool to do a crossover type thing.
I can tell you, I think it'd be wise for Raul and I to stay very far away from Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. We're not musically inclined, like our friend Allie is. I would be terrible on that show, I'll speak for myself.
I can. I've got bundled in with you.
You are an awful singer.
Are you serious?
Legitimately.
Are you serious?
Ask Rose.
Okay, ask Rose. Rose says I'm terrible at everything. Rose thinks I'm the worst actor in the show.
Sing for them right now.
No. I'm too shy. I suffer from shyness, but I've got bundled in with you as we're tone deaf. That's not the case. I just don't think a musical episode. I think it's stupid.
No, I don't think we need really a musical episode. I think just stick to acting. That's what the show is.
Right?
We're actors.
David.
We all sing also as well. I mean, I sing myself. It doesn't mean that I need to like be
That's
singing
what I like
at the
about
show.
you. You're the first singer I enjoy hanging out with because you're not every 5
Singing.
seconds. Like,
Yeah, right.
It really does. Like, I don't break into
No, it
monologue.
bothers me. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't just
I
do
get it.
Richard III when we're chilling or impressions.
Yeah.
Like, you know, actors who do impressions all the time.
Yeah.
I know it's your job.
Where you're like, stop.
it. Stop doing that. I'm going to choose Riverdale.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
I don't watch it.
Oh,
It's just because I have some friends who are crazy about it, and I just want to do it just to spite them.
I would say Riverdale too,
That's it. I just wanna be in it,
I
yeah.
actually have watched like the first like 4 episodes. And I
Oh,
think
yeah?
it's good.
Yeah, it's good.
I think it's
I
good.
found something out too.
What did you find
There's an
out?
Indian character in Riverdale, right? And in the comics, his dad, his name is Ravi.
You're kidding. Weird.
So I could be the dad of
Yeah.
someone. Yeah.
I'm gonna say the 100. I love the writing.
But won't you just die?
Maybe it's that's a risk I'm willing to take.
You're gonna be in the forest, for 17 hours.
Listen, I'm already
cold.
shirtless
Yeah,
all
exactly.
the damn time on iZombie anyways, guy. It's not gonna be anything new. If I get killed off this or put me out of misery, you know?
Cool.
Oh, sorry. Can I end it there?
Oh, can I ask my question first?
Go right
Sorry.
ahead.
Do you think you'd take the actual zombie apocalypse as calmly as your characters do? Like, would
No,
you be...
I would be completely panicked. I'd freak the
I'd blow my
F
brains
out.
out.
Yeah.
The minute the electricity stops working.
Yeah. And you
I
can't
can't get tea. I'm very quick to pull the trigger on my own life. I'm
Yeah.
done.
I thought I wasn't gonna have a hot shower this morning, and I already
You
wanted
almost
to end it all.
lost it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna jump out this window.
Yeah, you're like done. It's not worth it.
Zombies not, I can't bathe warm, I'm out.
So yeah, we would be a mess.
Yeah.
Though fire would still exist, so you could still have warmth
Oh,
at least.
it's too much work.
I'm a show dog, I need to be
Yeah,
pampered.
that's just too much.